Mary.
And Amma.
We invite you guys to like,
share,
subscribe,
and comment.
down below, y'all. Today we are going to be talking about Shiny Happy People. It has finally come out. 3 episodes. We are going to do it 1 episode at a time, so you guys can really, because there's so much to talk about. So we cannot rush it all in 10 minutes. And y'all know we try to keep our videos a little bit below 20 minutes. So I guess we're going to talk about the first episode.
Never really happens, but
I know.
We're going to do it this time.
Yes, because we got so much to talk about. 3 days. It is Alma's birthday week, so we have been a little away, but Mama is turning 52, you guys.
Happy
birthday to ya. Happy birthday. But so it's her birthday June 5th.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. So that's why we've been away. But we are back. We are back just
My
before our birthday.
Started Friday.
Yes, it did.
Or maybe Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on the 5th of June. Might as well take the whole beginning of June till the 5th.
Hey, why not?
Okay.
But we're back, you guys. So we're happy if you guys are still with us and everything. But let's get right into it.
You know, I have watched the Duggars. Like, I haven't been like a avid watcher. Like, I've watched.
I think like we've been more like that for the Sister Wives, right?
Yeah.
Because we watched every episode.
Right. But the Duggars, like, I watched like certain things that they did when they moved into the big house, right? And saw like their kind of paintings on the walls. I thought that was cute. Of course, all the weddings.
Yeah.
I started watching the weddings for, I think it was Jessa. You know, I kind of missed Jill's wedding, not Josh's wedding. I missed that. I wasn't watching it then.
Yeah.
But I did see part of Jill's wedding. I think that's how I began to get introduced to the Duggars, and then the births. Like their home births. I think I saw like Jessa's and Jessa's home birth. I think Ginger had her birth at at the hospital. So yeah,
it was interesting.
So it was like those like family big moments. I watched some of it when they traveled. They traveled to Asia. I kind of wondered why they were dressing like geishas, but you know.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
but it was interesting to know the group that they were in, because I didn't know that they were actually in a group. I just thought this was just a Christian family. That's actually just what I thought they were. But apparently they were in this institute called the Basic Life of Principles.
Right,
the Institute of Basic Life Principles.
And I did not know because I thought that they had left that before they started the whole show. I thought it was their way. They got part of the foundation of how they were raising their family in terms of girls wear skirts and stuff like that, and you know, traditional roles for men and women. But I don't know why I thought that they were no longer part of that at all. Anyway, like I said, I wasn't watching it like that, so maybe that could have been the reason why.
But Michelle was 17 and Jim Ball was 19 when they got married.
Yes.
Apparently she was actually a cheerleader before they
actually
got she was a cheerleader turned Christian, and he kind of introduced her to his whole entire life, and she kind of took it on. And I
kind of knew that. I actually knew that already. But it was nice to hear about. I'd always heard about the crazy cousin Amy or something, which I didn't think she was crazy. She was just different from their world.
She wasn't as traditional.
She was like a normal person in America, right? But in their world,
she was like
she will
the
be
typical
different.
American, basically.
Exactly. That's how I felt.
But she said it was because her, I think, Jim Bob's sister.
Yeah, that's her. His sister's daughter.
So she's the niece, his niece, but they're cousins. So she basically her mom grew up in a strict household, so she kind of did not want her daughter to have to live through that. So she kind of gave her more freedom, more reign.
Yeah, but then they talked about, which I did not know, that his father wasn't really religious.
Yeah. He said he feels like him not being religious was an issue of them having to be like poor and stuff. Mm-hmm. So he said because he had like no spiritual like direction or whatever.
And so it was interesting to learn, and that could be also why he was so into that faith. He was introduced to it. He went with his friend, the one who...
That's Jim Holt.
Yeah, and they went when they were teenagers.
Yeah.
To this IBLP seminar that they were having, and that's how they got introduced to it. And usually, when you're introduced to something that you attach yourself to, because at that age you're trying to find your own sense of direction,
Right.
you know, and you're introduced to something like that, I can see how he kind of clung to that. So that was very interesting to find out.
And apparently they had a miscarriage because she said she actually was taking birth control and that they got on their knees and they prayed about it and then they just kept on getting blessed and blessed and blessed. I didn't know they actually were pregnant with a 20th child, but apparently that child had passed away as well.
I knew that
And
one, and I knew
Josie.
about the miscarriage thing that they had in the beginning, that she was taking birth control, and then after they stopped taking birth control, they miscarried after Josh, and then they decided they were,
Speaking of Josh, he apparently was also in a club because I mean I've always wondered how did he get this whole porn thing or whatever. But apparently he was into this
boycott. He's called Boycott. He was, he had his own group of friends, and there was they said there was a convenience
Christian
store.
outreach team. So it was
Right.
basically a
It was
Christian
like boy
outreach team.
and then called Christian outreach team.
And they were trying to protest against this convenience store that was now selling liquor and porn. And I'm just
right.
wondering
down the road.
Yeah,
And
at the end of the street. I just wonder
wondered,
if they were like maybe the convenience store guys like if you're boycotting, well let me come and show you exactly
what
what's
it is,
going
so
on.
you know what you're boycotting, because
I don't know how he got into little kids. I don't know how that's happened, but I have a suspicion that maybe it was that convenience store that probably introduced him to the porn.
Yeah.
But I always feel like when somebody like starts messing with kids, it's something either because I mean we've seen it with R. Kelly where
so I wonder,
either it happens to you and you either become the victimizer or you become an advocate. And in this case, he has become a victimizer, right?
Yeah.
So I always feel like maybe something that happened to him.
Advocate for those victims.
Yeah, and I mean we're going to get into it more later on the other
Yeah.
episodes, but even the guy who like is the head of this whole IBLP stuff, he has been known to like be sexually assaulting women. I haven't heard anything about boys, but I seriously doubt if you're sexually assaulting little girls, you aren't doing this to little boys.
Yeah.
Usually the people go both ways, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe something happened to him, not excusing it whatsoever.
Absolutely not.
But I mean, I just wonder how that all
What happened?
happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you just start
See,
liking
something
little
happened
kids.
with
Like that's a
family
learned
members
behavior.
or whatever. I just wonder to myself just how deep this rabbit hole goes.
But I felt like it was dead ass wrong for Michelle to be saying that, she was going to, because, Jim Holtz, Jim Bob's friend, Josh was actually courting their daughter, and, what was it, they found out about this or whatever when he was 15, he was touching girls, but he apparently had been doing it for 3 years prior to that, and then they had taken him to the sheriff officer place or whatever, but it was apparently
Which
Jim
I didn't
Bob's
think
friend.
was enough. And
But they
I mean,
did,
I feel like they did, they did something, but with some, and I think as time goes on, everyone is learning.
Yeah.
Because.
But I just want to quickly talk about this real quick. Because I totally forgot my points.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
But I just felt like it wasn't right for Michelle or Jim Bob to kind of use their
Absolutely
daughter
not.
in order to help them act right. But I feel like in most families,
It
I mean,
is
if we're
so
going to be
awful.
honest, I'm sure there are plenty of people who are going to be watching this who kind of have in the back of their head, my son, he's not where he's supposed to be, but if he can find just one good girl who will be there and rock with him and everything, he will get himself together. He might not have money, he might not have his education, he might not have his stuff together, whatever, but let him find a good girl, and I'm going to help them, and support them up, and build them up, and all this stuff or whatever, and we're going to make this work. Like, I feel like that's what people do, because they really feel like women are the fixers and like the women who do everything, right? So as long as he can find a good girl who can help correct him. I feel bad for Anna because basically that's what they did with her. But I don't think it's right. We're going to wait until they get married to confess their sins. What if I don't want to be with somebody who is who likes incest? Like what? Like what?
I feel like they should
once.
have let her know from the get-go. Not let me date you first. You start liking me.
I start liking
because
you.
I feel like that's what happened with Anna. Now I remember the time when she came out to say that he had told her before, but I feel like they probably let him get to like her, let her get to like him first.
And girls usually will like somebody
and then say this is what happens, and that is just wrong.
Yeah.
That is just completely wrong. And I feel also like as well Anna's parents also failed her.
Oh, for sure.
You
for
know,
sure.
because
My child
I'm
told
sorry.
me that's you. That is not the one. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Now he's in jail for child pornography.
Yes, you did that when you were a teenager. I don't really care. Nope, you can't be with my child. I mean, you just can't. I'm sorry. You just cannot. It's a no.
Facts.
It's an effing no. Because I don't know how deep that rabbit hole goes.
And I don't even know how
Someone
that even got started.
Molests little children when they're a teenager, that has happened to them. So and it's
your sibling,
and I'm
though, like
telling
your
that's
whole
what I'm saying.
sibling.
And it's not something that. Listen, I have worked with people who these things have happened to, and I'm sorry, I have yet to meet someone who rehabilitated completely from it. I mean,
I don't
that's
really
just
think
that's
a
just the
child
reality.
molester or somebody who goes and violates their sibling can actually be rehabilitated.
So I mean, and I know, sometimes, people who are religious will say, well, God forgives with everything. Listen, I am not God. I'm just a human being, and I can't, but I feel as though in this system that they have,
yeah,
the women are like second class citizens.
facts.
So it does not really matter what you want for yourself. This man has come and has asked for your hand in marriage, and gosh darn it, I need to get rid of you as a daughter, and you got to go. You like you have to go. You don't have a say. You don't like him. He has come for you. So obviously God brought him. How do you know that? I'm sorry. He has not been acting a very godly way. And he did this with his sisters. I remember for myself when that whole thing happened, I was just like, it kind of soured it for me.
Yeah, I feel like
It
once
just
that
did,
came out,
like-
I don't think they were going to be able to bring that show back at
No.
all. There's no way in hell.
And yeah,
And we
just
have
kinda
about that
soured it
other
for
stuff
me.
in the other two
It just soured it
episodes.
for me.
But yeah, I mean
Yeah.
the very first episode, very interesting.
It was an eye opener. It was an eye opener.
At first,
And
I was like, I don't feel.
I guess we'll
bamboozled.
talk a little bit about the IBLP.
Yeah.
I think
and
that
the
comes
other...
in the next one with the guy and the little boy.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll
oh
talk
my
about that in the
God.
next one.
Yeah, but it's
It was a
Mary.
And I'm
We
like,
invite y'all to like,
whew, child, share,
subscribe.
get in the comments. Tell us what your thoughts are. Like, I am still a little bit in, like, my mouth is still a little open because I'm like, wow, these things were happening.
Yeah.
In America. You hear about these cults. There's so many different cults out there. Yeah, but wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, get down in the
Wow.
comments, y'all.
Yes,
We will
y'all.
do the next part. Stay tuned.